Hit it, Blake.
Alright. 3, 2, 1.
There's Alex. It's Rita, but it's not. She's gone. Hey, there's Blake. All right.
There we go.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
5:22 on the clock.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what
Keep
time
track
we
of
got.
time.
Hi everybody. We know you missed us.
Yep.
Jeff
Brief
told us.
hiatus.
Yeah, brief.
Yeah. Brief. Super brief.
Super
Like
brief.
only like what was it?
Yeah,
2
6 weeks.
and a half. Yeah, something like
It's
that.
been a minute. We haven't filmed at all this semester because I don't know about you, but I have been ridiculously busy.
I have honestly just been like kicking back. So like.
Well,
I've
I
just
have
been
not
lazy
been
about
kicking
it.
back. He's just been lazy. I've been busy.
I've been lazy. Sorry, I'm a lazy guy.
But Jeff was like, "Hey guys, when's it coming back?" And we're like, "We need to get on."
I
that."
know. It was funny because like he mentioned it. He's like, "Hey, where's the podcast been?" And then it was him. Then it was Ed. Then it was some of the employees. Someone's trying to get into the Zen room. Oh my gosh, could it be Percy? Let's see. Let's see. Guest special guest star
I think
Percy.
it's Bell. Well,
All right, now we're back again. We're back the second time. Oops.
well, that was awkward.
Well-
We'll just fast forward to that bit right there.
All right, what were we just talking about? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm lazy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
lazy.
I'm lazy.
Yeah,
Guilty as
Jeff was
charged.
like, "Hey guys, when's the podcast coming back?" And we're like, "Next
Yeah.
week."
First, it was like Jeff mentioned it, and I was like, oh yeah, but kind of haven't done that in a bit. Then Ed mentioned it. Then we had some of the staff mention it.
Yeah.
and
We
it
didn't
was
know you
just-
guys missed us this much.
I know. I didn't
Like, we
realize
didn't
I
know
was
we
this
were- we
popular.
didn't know it was
well,
this
okay, I
popular.
knew I was a cool guy, and I knew
Like,
it was
I
a
know I'm
popular
a
guy
kind
that
of a
was
cool
cool.
guy, but I didn't know that I was this cool.
I didn't know
guy.
I was beholden in your hearts.
I didn't know we were gonna be missed.
I know.
Yeah, Jeff was a little upset because these microphones he bought for us to use for this, and then we haven't used them at all.
I'm
this
sure Jeff's
semester.
gonna get a lot of mileage out of these lav mics besides us.
Yeah, that's
But he
also
did
very fair.
kind of be like, "Hey, you
We
guys
did
want
send
this
in
for
the purchase
podcast."
request.
Thanks,
for them.
Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
But we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Want to do a quick? Oh,
We gotta do a
let's
quick
see.
Gleason recap. So much
quick
has
Gleason
happened.
recap.
So I'd say, first of all, this is on the forefront of my mind, and this is probably what I'm gonna talk about a lot today. But Gleason tag is a thing.
Gleason tag.
So-
I think I'm winning. I don't know.
think
We'll have to
you're
get the
winning.
scores and put them at the end of the video.
Okay, so Gleason tag, right? Snapchat, get a picture of someone without them noticing you, send it in the chat. That's a point, right? It's like you're
No, it's
tagging
2
people.
points. 2 points for a tag, -1 for if you get tagged.
Yeah, okay. There's technicalities to it.
Yeah,
But
technicality.
point being, you're trying to get pictures of people without them seeing you.
And I'm
Classic,
pretty
right?
good at it. He's really bad at it.
I'm really bad at it. I've been trying to go for a low score. Last I checked, I was nearing -30.
Yeah, you were at
which is
-27.
awesome. Except today, everyone seems to have a vendetta against me.
So many.
I think I got tagged 7 times. I think I got tagged more times today than I have like the rest of the semester leading up to this point.
Yeah, you've been tagged a lot today.
It was ridiculous. Every time
It's the bright yellow shirt.
I mean, I am literally like a beacon right now with this shirt. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But it's a cool shirt, so.
It's a very nice shirt. But yeah, I will say that Aaron and Peter are like really good, and then me and Justin always just. Justin has dedication. I need to give it to him.
He does.
Justin left he knew that I was at Clemente working out like I normally do, and then he left his room, went all the way to Clemente, and waited outside for me to leave just so he could get me. And you know what? We call that dedication, and I
dedication.
respect that.
I can respect that.
Yeah. But yeah, Gleason tag's pretty fun. We'll have to get the scores from Kayla. She's on a cruise right now.
She's on a cruise?
Yeah, she's on a cruise.
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
she did say that.
Yeah.
Oops. Hi, Kayla. But yeah, it was just. What did we make it? 10 minutes?
Not even 5. We made it
5 minutes. We made it 5 minutes before we have to edit something out already.
Whoopsies. But yeah, Gleason tag's really fun. I will say you have to stay on your toes. Sometimes, okay. when we were playing. Also, something new that started with the Gleason staff was the Gleason staff Dungeons and Dragons, which
Yeah.
I'll talk about that in a minute. But I need to Aaron. I want to talk about dedication. Aaron came and found it. We were in the library playing, right? Aaron came and found us and snuck open the door. Not a one of us noticed, and got me, Johnny, Peter, Justin, Luis, and Coda. 6 people in
That was
one
impressive.
go.
Seeing that, I opened that chat, saw him tag the entire D&D table that was set up at the library there.
Yeah,
That was
that's the
amazing.
biggest one so far.
That was impressive.
That was
That's
impressive.
record setting.
That's 12 points.
Record setting and ceiling breaking.
Yeah, that was impressive. But yeah, Dungeons and Dragons was fun. You should have come.
I should have. Well, I had just gotten back from my trip to New Jersey.
New Jersey.
New Jersey for the jazz band. We
Oh,
we
how's that?
were it was awesome. We were playing for the New Jersey Music Educators something, NJMEA.
Association, Raleigh Music Association, or Educators Association.
Yeah, that's probably it.
There's
Whatever.
an A. It probably stands for association.
Probably
Probably
association,
stands for
whatever.
something.
Whatever it is. It was cool. There were a lot of bands there. I got to see a lot of cool bands play. I was in one of the cool bands playing. And it was just a fun trip. Our hotel was like right next to a Rainforest Cafe. We went to Rainforest Cafe.
Rainforest Cafe.
It was
is
a
dope.
very subpar experience, but it
I mean,
was very nostalgic.
Rainforest Cafe is one of those things that's like really cool when you're a kid, and then you get older and you're like, it's kind of okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's just okay.
I'd rank it as a very okay dining experience.
Yeah.
So.
It's meant for kids.
I'm a kid at heart.
Yeah, that's fair.
But no, that trip was cool. I got back late Saturday night. I was back for Sunday, but I had laundry and whatnot to catch up on. So it's like, and I also didn't finish making the character.
Neither did Justin. It's okay.
I spent a lot of Sunday making my character.
Justin showed up not a character unfinished. So that's yeah. Dakota, you want a quick summary of what happened?
Okay.
Me and Luis carried. Dakota tried to steal things. Peter made priests angry because he tried to convert them because he said their god was stupid. And Justin's Australian.
That's his whole personality.
Yeah, pretty much. His character's Australian. He talks with someone's trying to get in.
Oh, let's let him in. Let's see. Sorry. Oh, hey. Go right ahead.
Forget about
Forget
it.
about it. Did you work Shane Moss?
I did not. Is that the comedian?
Yes, the
I
comedian.
did not work Shane Moss.
I didn't hear much about Shane Moss, but I asked around Gleason staff that did see Shane Moss, comedian man, and I said on a scale of 1 to me, how funny was he? And they concurred at about a 6. So that's all I care about.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I know he had candy that looks like edibles, but it's just caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing pictures of that, and I didn't know it was caffeine at first. It just said
I
like
definitely thought dude was
50.
selling that.
It had like it says like 50 milligrams of whatever, and I'm like, they're selling those
I thought
at
they
the
were selling
Performing
Eddies
Arts
on the-
Center. Is that
yeah, I
even
believe
legal? I know there's people under 21 there.
Yeah.
Is that even legal in the state? I don't know.
It's no, it's going to. I think they're trying to.
I think they
So
are
not
trying
yet,
to
but
pass
they're
the
trying
bill,
to.
but it's not legal
Yeah.
as of today.
Yeah. What else?
So much.
We had middle school. We had middle schoolers here.
Oh,
God, middle schoolers
Florida
suck.
prep.
No, the one before that with when they were doing the talks in Clemente.
Oh,
Middle schoolers
that
suck,
thing.
guys. They're kind of.
Okay. Let
Okay.
me. That right. I saw that was on. Okay. There were shifts for that event, right? There were
Yeah.
shifts that were put up
Mhm.
where it was like whatever the thing was called, and it was from this time to this time.
Mm-hmm.
I had a shift, my normal office hour shift,
Mhm.
overlap with that.
Mhm.
And, sometimes that means working that event. Sometimes that means there's the people taking the assigned shifts working that event, and there's normal office stuff that needs to get done. So I was like, okay, whatever. Show up. Not only am I working this event as part of my normal office hours,
You
I'm
have to be
expected to
in
have my
blacks.
black,
Which you didn't.
which I didn't. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
Jeff didn't make a big deal about it, but I was just like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I could have known. I could have been like, oh, there's an event here, my shift's there, and I might need my blacks. I should bring them. But it's like,
See, here was
I'm
my
only
thing.
human.
Here was my issue with the event, right? So when I showed up, I didn't know what they had before that, but when I showed up, there was a blind guy talking. Not a single person in that gymnasium. Well, okay, there was a few people paying attention, but the vast majority of those kids were not paying attention. And like he didn't know that. Because he couldn't, like, they were like very clearly on their phones, not paying attention, and like he can't see that because he's blind. And like no one thought to like tell the kids to behave. I'm like, guys, the least you can do is listen. Like,
I did not know there was a blind guy presenting.
You might have been gone by then.
I was either gone before then, or I don't know if he presented last.
It's actually he did present last.
Okay,
it's actually really cool.
there.
He was a blind guy that he was a mountain climber, or no. I don't remember. Yeah, I think he was like a climber. Then he lost his eyesight, and he still wanted to keep climbing, and so he does. And he's like climbed Mount Everest blind.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's actually
That's
really
sick.
it's actually really impressive and like really cool to listen to. But like not one of the kids because middle schoolers suck with paying attention. And like they were like all like yeah, I kind of felt bad for him because I was like, he doesn't even know that none of them are paying attention right now.
Yeah, they're like 12. Gotta cut him some slack. All I remember is you don't want to be an egg, and you don't want to be
You don't want to be an egg.
no, you
Context?
want to be a coffee bean.
You want to be a coffee bean.
I forget. There's the egg.
Mm-hmm.
There's something else, and there's the coffee bean. Because it's what happens when it gets put into boiling water, right? The egg becomes hard boiled, and that's not good. The point being was that the coffee bean changed its surroundings, and it makes the boiling water into coffee. This was the motivational speaker that the high schoolers had.
Interesting.
Very, right?
I mean, okay, you know what? To be fair, now that I'm thinking back on it, like how many did we listen to when we were in high school?
Oh my god, more than I care to remember. High
Yeah,
and
okay,
middle
yeah.
school.
How many did you have to sit through? Lots.
have to sit
How many did you
through?
actually listen to?
Maybe one.
Exactly. There was one. She was from Africa, right?
Okay.
Her accent was so thick, and I am so hearing impaired. I could not understand a word the lady said the entire speech, which normally would be fine. I was politely sitting in the front row, kind of like nodding and like trying to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Front row, she gets like halfway through the presentation. I've kind of started to like nod off. I'm not like sleeping, but like my attention
Oh yeah,
is
you're on a
phasing
different
in and out.
planet. Yeah.
She points at me and goes, "You," and I went, and then she asked me a question, and I didn't understand the question, and so then I just kind of, in front of my entire high school, just kind of went, "Yeah," and then I must have answered correctly because she loved that response. She was like, "Exactly." That's the only word I understood. No, I understood 2 words during the speech. Exactly, and Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
I have no idea what the context. Actually, I did know what the context was because on her presentation, the following slide was a picture of her shaking Tom Cruise's hand. So, because I went, this is the only word I picked up. Like I'm trying to pay attention, and she's talking, and I hear Tom because she like slowed down for it. She put emphasis on it. She was like talking yada 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 yada. Tom Cruise yada yada yada, and I went, Tom Cruise, and then she like hits the next slide and it's a picture of her shaking hands with Tom Cruise. And I go, oh, there we go, Tom Cruise. That's the context for Tom Cruise. Yeah.
That's like
That
the
was a rough
equivalent
speaker.
of like the videos where it's like every Scott the Woz, hey y'all, like lined up, where it's just like noise and it's hey y'all, Scott here, and then back to noise.
Exactly what it was like.
Okay. What else have we been up to?
What else? It's been I don't know, there's so much to cover.
You want to know what?
What?
What was that thing we had to get up at like 7 to set up? And we had to be there for 7. I had to get up at like
I wasn't.
5:30, 6 o'clock. You weren't there.
I
No,
wasn't.
no.
That was
Long
easy.
gone.
What was that for? Oh, it was for the president.
President's inauguration happened.
President's
Where are you
inauguration,
going?
which we fired off
Oh, there we have those
a
right
bunch
there.
of these bad boys.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
a cannon.
we made a lot.
We made a
of
lot
these.
of cannons. We fired off a few at commencement, and then everybody loved them and was like, we want more. So now we have like
8 bajillion,
like a lot.
approximately, give
Like
or
a
take.
lot. So yeah,
That is the precise number. It's 8
Eight,
bajillion. The count has an error of about 2%. So.
Yeah. So we fired off a bunch of these at the president's commencement, which is dope.
Yeah.
We played Life is a... Actually, no. I will admit that it was really cool the way they did the outro because they did like the normal like pomp and circumstance, but then they like did a record scratch and started playing like cool outro music.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool. I did like that. That was dope.
What song did? Because I know Jeff put the song up to a poll. What did he pick?
I don't remember. Not what I said. I said they should have played a Boozy song.
I said they should have played 1812 Overture and lined up the cannons with our
That would have been
cannons.
cool.
The Louisiana thing, because I've never heard of this man in my life.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah.
As someone who does not hail from
Trying to
Louisiana.
think. Oh no, my
nor has
mom
been
wasn't in
there.
a drive-by with him. My mom was in a drive-by for Master P. Yeah, my mom was in a drive-by. She worked at Halfway House.
Okay.
Do you know what a Halfway House is?
No.
So Halfway House is it's for people who are in prison. It's like it's the halfway between in prison and out of prison. It's a house where prisoners live while they're still technically serving their sentence,
Okay.
but it's in the general public.
Okay.
And they have to like follow certain rules and stuff. And then if they perform well there, if they do well there and like follow the rules there, it's kind of like
It's like house arrest
it's
plus.
a form of probation.
Okay.
And if they do well on probation, then they get out and they're free. And they're released from prison.
Okay.
So my mom worked at a halfway house before she worked at like an actual prison. Yeah, both my parents were like 20 plus years law enforcement.
Fancy.
Yeah. So she worked at the halfway house, and then one of the guys that they were housing there, the reason he was at the halfway house and not in prison was because he made a deal and ratted on Master P, who is a gangster. He's a rapper, but he's also a gangster. So he ratted on him, and he didn't like that very much. So my mom one day is working at the halfway house,
Yeah.
and she hears this loud noise. She doesn't know what it is, and her, being not that bright at the time, walks over to the window, at which point one of her assistants, I think they're called orderlies, I don't remember what they're called, walks in the room. This big, like 6'6", like 280, big, muscular black dude, comes in, grabs her by the collar, and throws her over the desk, and then, like right before the car drives by, and just like shoots up the room they're in. To which the guy replied, "You stupid why'd you go to the window?" And I'm gonna censor that.
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna have to censor at least one of those words, but I think it's really funny. Yeah, so my mom's in a drive-by.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of like both my parents being in law enforcement, like right when I was in high school, we did I was Catholic high school, so we did like retreats, like spiritual.
We're still in the room. You can see our lights though. That's fun.
That's what.
Hello.
Ah, there it is.
It's back.
Hey guys.
Wow. I've never seen
I
that.
thought the power had gone out.
It did not do that at all when we
It's
recorded
never done that
before. It's
before.
never done that.
We're going to
That's
talk
so
to
weird.
Jeffrey.
Jeff, what kind of timer you got these lights on?
That's gonna be the thumbnail right there. No, what was I saying? Yeah. So we're freshmen in high school, and so we're in our small groups, and then we have these seniors that are like asking us questions, right? And one of the questions they asked is like, "Have you ever done drugs?" Right, and then they're making clear. They're like, "Dude, guys, we're not gonna snitch on you. We promise." I don't trust them to begin with. First of all, I haven't, just for the record. But some of my classmates were like, yeah. They get around me, I'm like, nope. And they're like, never? And I'm like, nah, wouldn't even consider it. And they're like, why not? And I go, both of my parents are retired law enforcement. They both know how to do a field. They both A, know what it looks like. B, know what it smells like. C, can perform field sobriety tests with scary accuracy. I wouldn't make it through the front gate. By the time my foot crossed the domain into the actual house, my parents would be on to me so fast. I'm like, I don't even want to risk it. And they were like, you gotta be joking, right? And then I explained to them, I'm like, my mother was a prison guard, and my father was a retired police officer. They both know what they're looking for, and I don't even want to risk it. Yeah.
I didn't do drugs out of the goodness of my own heart.
I mean, that too, but also, like, having both of your parents be retired law enforcement and know
No,
what
that
the signs
definitely,
look like.
like,
It's definitely a deterrent.
Mm-hmm.
Because like even if it crosses your mind for like even a second, you're like, on second thought, no, don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs. They're bad for you. No drugs.
Don't do drugs, or I'll get you with the cannon.
Look, that thing.
This thing, PVC, this part's metal.
Yeah.
I remember when we were building these and we were standing outside in the cart bay, and then we were shooting them we were shooting each other with them.
Does Jeff know about that?
Yeah, no, Jeff. That's where I'm going with the story.
Okay.
So we're standing outside the golf cart bay, like kind of just like shooting each other with the cannons because it's funny. We're not like they're not like high pressure. Like we're like maybe filling them at half pressure.
Yeah, I remember. I was a target.
Yeah, and then I'm standing there like they're about to shoot it at me, and then I look up and like past everybody else, and I see Jeff is just standing in the booth. And he holds his phone up and points to it, and I check my phone, and he has a message. He goes, I'm gonna have to censor this. Would you dumb stop shooting each other with the cannons? Period. And go get the package. Period. And that's all it was. Because we had a package shipping, and he's like, stop shooting each other with cannons. Go get the package. And we were like, okay.
All right, Jeff.
All right, Jeff. Kind of dragging our feet because we like shooting each other with
Yeah,
cannons.
I think I was probably gone by that point because I remember I had a shift where we had just gotten the cannon set up and we were shooting each other.
Shout out to Wyatt.
test
I know
them.
Wyatt like put in like a good chunk of the effort in like getting these things sealed up.
Oh yeah, no, I remember Wyatt complaining about how much they leaked.
Wyatt did a lot of like the ceiling work. I know Colin made the firing blocks. I can't remember who else did what. If you're watching this and you had a part, comment down below. Whatever you did.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. But yeah, Gleason cannons.
We have cannons.
We have cannons.
We did inauguration. High school, middle schoolers showed up for stuff.
There was a Ren Fair
Oh yeah, there was Ren
at one
Fair.
point.
I remember I had to work karaoke for PantherCon. That already happened. PantherCon happened.
How was PantherCon?
PantherCon was pretty cool. It was pretty neat.
Yeah.
They had it's not Flem Jam anymore. I think his band has a different name now. But the Fleming, the professor with the band, they performed. That's what we were mainly there for, setting up speakers for their performance. They also used them for some other stuff.
They did it at a lot smaller scale this year.
Much smaller. Instead of Clemente,
yeah.
it was in...
Good call, guys. Good call. Much better.
Much better. I would say, as much as it's like, oh, now they're downscaled to a smaller space, they were only using the Clemente space for so much.
Yeah, a lot of the Clemente space was empty. Which, for everybody that was there, made the whole place feel barren because the majority of your space is just dead space.
Yeah, exactly.
Having it in a smaller space, if you can do just as much, is better because it makes it feel like it's more active.
It felt like there was every time you turned a corner, there was something to do.
Yeah.
Which was good. It felt more
I still have my
lively.
Pete the Panther as a Catboy mug from last year's.
Oh, they had those.
It only cost an hour of my life.
It wasn't just Pete. They had one for the AI they made, Panthera. They made another anime thing for that. They cat girlified Panthera.
Wait. If they cat girlified Panthera and cat boyified Pete.
Don't even begin to suggest where I think you're going with that. Because you're gonna give them ideas and they're gonna do it.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to work PantherCon again next year, and I'm gonna have to see that.
Do it. If you are part of any of the clubs that put on PantherCon, do it. It would be so funny. Do it. And email it to gleason@go.fit.edu, and then just make the header, "Hello, Jeffrey," and then he'll know it was us.
Chris, if you see this, do everything in your power to not allow this to happen.
Chris, make it happen.
No.
Yes.
Chris is my inside man at
Yes,
Vitsa.
do it. It's gonna be great.
I needed that.
I would love to see Panthera and Pete the Panther, fan art. Please. I'll pay you $5.
But anyway, the rest of the event was also cool. They had a retro game set up.
What games?
And they actually had... Okay, my biggest gripe with PantherCon last year, it was a small thing, but it honestly broke the whole thing for me. They had an original Xbox set up with a CRT with no
Uno?
games. Didn't even have Uno.
Didn't they have Uno?
It was the oldest Xbox known to man. It didn't have Uno.
That's wild.
And so I was there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to play Halo 2.
Wait, so they set up an Xbox but had no games?
Yeah, they set up an Xbox so you could scroll the menus. That's what they did last year. Maybe I showed up at a weird time, and the Xbox games just weren't there. But
crazy.
I went to PantherCon, saw the Xbox, no Halo 2, left. But this year, I didn't see the Xbox, probably because there's no games. But they did have an NES, an SNES, an N64, a Sega Genesis, there was more, a GameCube, a lot of Nintendo stuff, obviously. That's like the best retro stuff to play. And Chris was telling me that for I wasn't there Sunday, but Sunday they were trying to get an Atari 2600 set up.
Atari?
Atari.
Oh my god, you could play Pong.
You could play Pong, you could play Donkey Kong. Super cool stuff.
Okay.
So that was honestly the best part,
on top of
in my opinion, because I'm a sucker for
retro video games. That's fair.
I loved, like growing up, I loved playing SMB1 on, we own an NES. That's what I'd play it on.
What's SM?
Super Mario Bros.
Super Mario Bros. Okay.
SMB1, it's just whatever.
Give us a Yahoo, Alex.
Yahoo!
There you go.
I have decent impression. Impression. Jeez.
Impression.
Mm-hmm.
Last year at PantherCon, I got forced into like being a member of one of the like panels that they were doing. That was an actually horrible experience.
What kind of? Oh, weren't they doing like role play panels or something?
They were doing one where you had to act out fan fiction.
That's what it was.
And their logic, I was forced to go on stage, and the logic they gave was, "We're paying you," which false. Jeff's paying me. You're paying Jeff. So if you want to go try to get someone on stage, go get Jeffrey. They were like, "We're paying you. You're gonna do this."
That sucks.
And I was the only one there, and so I had to do it. And I had to, what was it? I had to be Thomas the Tank Engine as, I can't remember which one. Do you know, how much do you know about Thomas?
Quite a bit. I grew up. I was a Thomas kid.
Who's the, what's the green one, the grumpy
Percy.
one?
Oh, the grumpy one?
It might have been Percy.
No, Percy's green. He's not grumpy.
It might have been Percy then. I don't remember. I don't know much about Thomas the Tank Engine.
I forget the name of the grumpy
But
one.
if I remember right,
diesel
I had
engine.
to play Thomas the Tank Engine while Percy tried to like seduce me. It was a horrible experience. I hated every second of it.
I like my job, and Jeff's a cool guy, but I think that would have been enough to make me quit. I think I would have been gone.
On the spot.
2 weeks. Actually, no, not 2 weeks, because I'd still have to do the fan fiction. I would have just been gone.
I'd have handed in my name tag.
Mm-hmm. Handed my name tag like it's my gun in my bag.
Yeah, that was an actual horrible experience. Jeff almost paid Ian, like he was thinking about it. He was like, we should like fly Ian out here, just like scream PantherCon at the top of his lungs. Ian's like at a grad school in like
somewhere in Europe, right? Yeah, Switzerland.
Yeah, it's crazy. They reached out to him.
I mean, I know he's like boy genius or something when
is.
it comes to computer science. So.
Yeah, he's really good. He's like, I hear the band.
I also hear I've been hearing the band, if you not. I know you haven't. It's okay.
He thinks he's funny.
I know I'm funny.
What's jazz band doing this semester? Like,
jazz band.
What song?
There it is.
I think we're gonna. Okay.
I think it's because that box is in the way of the censor, so it can't see us. While
I think we might have to talk to Jeffrey about finding a new place to film. If this keeps happening, I'll move the box. Keep talking while I take care
move
of
the
things.
box out of the way. I think that's what's doing it. But jazz band this semester, not only did we have our NJMEA where we just got back from, which was cool performance. Mostly songs we've already played because we only had till February to get them ready.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have our normal concert at the end of this semester, which is gonna be all new songs.
Ooh.
I think Dr. M also wants to do some gigs in the area. If I remember correctly, could be remembering wrong. I could be lying through my teeth, as I like to do, but...
No, you don't like to do it. You just happen to do it a lot. We're very bad at staying honest here.
But if I remember correctly, we are going to try and do gigs in the area, as well as our end of semester concert.
That's pretty cool.
Very cool stuff. Jazz band's picking up, when I started last year, it was just, you show up once a week, you practice the songs, and then you have a concert at the end of the semester. It was like high school, but band class, but harder.
Yeah. That's cool though. That's really
cool.
It
is cool. It's super cool. So I'm super excited. It's also been so cool being in jazz band and doing what I have been, I've become like a much better like trumpet, like much more well-rounded trumpet player, which has just been nice.
That's really cool.
It's like I've noticed I can sight read music way better. I'm better at like my tonality and stuff. I still have plenty of room to improve, don't get me wrong, but
Speaking of
I'm better.
concerts, homecoming concert, the Plain White Tees, Hey There Delilah, white people gotta go crazy over that.
they are.
I'm telling you, dude. That is, I'm sorry, that is peak white people music.
You know, why does the poster say Alex sucks? No one's talking. The only, actually, no, people are talking about that because I was in the chat and I was like, I don't suck. Well, I kind of do, but like that's kind of mean. You don't have to point it out.
Yeah, it's the poster. It's like Plain White Tees, and then underneath it says Alex sucks.
Alex says, I'm a cool guy. I'm gonna talk to the Florida Tech alumni.
Hold on, let's see if I can pull it up real quick.
Pull up the
pull it up.
post right now. But Florida Tech alum posted that on their Instagram, targeting me specifically. I know it's me because I'm the coolest Alex on campus. So who else are they talking about?
Hold up, let's see if I can get the picture.
I just don't see why that was necessary. Yeah, can you at all make out the text Alex sucks? Yeah. Apparently. You know, I don't know what I did, but
Oh, there's
I'm
the
there.
picture of the camera.
And there's a picture of the camera.
Yeah.
That's you. That's you guys.
It's you guys.
Wow.
We had to give him a quiet on set,
Mm-hmm.
and then which they then ignored.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Plain White Tees. That's white people music. I'm sorry.
No, it absolutely is.
Absolutely is. It's song like, you ever seen like a playlist like song that get the white people turn? Hey There Delilah's like top of the tier. Up there with like
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, Sweet Caroline, Hey There Delilah. White people go crazy, dog. As a white person,
I mean,
I do go crazy over.
Don't get me
those
wrong.
songs.
I love Sweet Caroline. And really like any popular ABBA song's gonna get me too.
That is true. ABBA's great. Is it ABBA or ABBA?
I've always said ABBA.
No,
It better be ABBA.
I think
This
it
is
might
like
be
it's
ABBA.
gonna be GIF and JIF again, and I'm gonna lose my mind.
when you die and go to heaven, you're gonna say, is John gonna greet you?
No.
Exactly.
I was a strong proponent of GIF, and everyone's like, the creator says it's pronounced GIF.
Well, he's wrong.
Well, maybe the creator's wrong.
Maybe the
It's
creator's
like
wrong.
the creators of Uno don't know their own rules. The creator of GIF doesn't know how to say his own thing.
I think it's, yeah. The creators of Uno, in fact, do not know
They
their
don't know
rules.
their own rules. They don't. They're like, well, you can't play a +2 on a +2. It's
It's
like,
like, yeah, you can. Shut up. Sit down, shut up, and let us play the game.
I like whatever the comment was, where it's like, you made the cards, just let us handle it.
Yeah. How have your classes been this semester, Alex?
Classes have been awesome. So, as you know, I can't help but be a menace whenever I can. And so my thing this semester, I don't know why I started this. I don't know why I perpetuate it, but I only call my professors by their names, and sometimes their first names. I.e., Fitzroy, I call Fitzroy. He's a cool guy. To be fair, he said to call him Dr. Fitz. And it's not necessarily always to their face. And by always, I mean it's usually not. Fitzroy is the only one where I walk into class, I'm like, Fitzroy, and he's like, yes.
At least he's chill with it.
He's chill with it. But like Dr. White, whenever I'm not in class, it's just like I got Ryan Tyler White homework to do.
Okay, that's because I think it's really funny that he's the only professor that they have his middle name on there. On can like
It is
on
funny. It's
pause,
funny is his
it's
middle
Ryan
name.
Tyler White.
It's Ryan Tyler White. and
I
just
work
like,
with
wow.
Dr. White.
I know.
Like,
you
he's
do
my-
his
he's
whatever
my
machine learning
boss.
stuff. I'm in a stats class right now.
Yeah, he's cool. One of my
But
favorite professors.
But yeah, so he's Ryan Tyler White.
On pause, it says Ryan Tyler White, not
I
just
have-
like Dr. Ryan White. It says Dr. Ryan Tyler White, and I'm like, I don't know why they insist on having his full name.
He's a neat guy.
He is. He's a really
But
cool guy.
I have Sun Wen as my linear algebra professor, so I always have Sun Wen homework or Sun Wen exam. Like I don't say I have a linear algebra exam. It takes extra mental capacity to go back to the class name. By default, it's Sun Wen.
That's fair.
By default, it's Fitzroy. By default, it's Ryan Tyler White. Actually, Con Law 2, I don't do it. But that's because my professor's name is just Saurus, and that's not fun to say. Fitzroy's a fun name. Ryan Tyler White's
Ryan
a fun
Tyler
name.
White is fun to
And
say.
Sun Wen's a fun name.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Very cool stuff.
So that's, yeah. But the like actual, in terms of like what my classes are doing and not just how I'm messing around,
Yeah.
they've actually been great.
That's good.
So especially compared to last semester, which was like absurdly busy, and it was just
See, that's
every
me
day
this
was a
semester.
new deadline. It was awful.
That's me this semester.
I think my Canvas to-do list might be empty right now. Let me see.
You.
Oh, don't say a bad word, Blake. That'd be bad. You have to cut it out. Oh, I have one free Probstat quiz, i.e., 3 multiple choice questions I get 3 attempts on. Due next week.
Yeah, Dr. White's. Yeah, we had to ask Dr. White for homework whenever I had him for Calc 2. It was 3 of us in the class, and we got like to week 8 in the semester, and not a single homework had been assigned. And we're like, "Hey, can we have a homework?" And he's like, "Do you want homework?" And we're like, "It'd be nice." And he's like, "Fine, I guess I'll give you homework." It's really fun. Like now that I work with him, he's also my teacher still, but it's really fun now that I work with him because like we had a dinner like not last night, but the night before for the like the lab that I'm in. Are you in? No, you don't have to take the FAQ.
No, I don't have to take the
Yeah.
FAQ. Nope.
So in FAQ you do like this thing called partial fraction decomposition sometimes to like
Oh,
reorganize
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that you get.
Well,
Yeah.
that was like somewhat covered in Calc 2, but I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
it's
yeah.
more in depth there.
Well, it's not really that you don't have to get that in depth. It's just a thing you learn in Calc 2. He never taught us that in Calc 2. So I'm sitting at this dinner, and my research partner's sitting next to me, who's also in FAQ right now, and I go, "Hey, you know how to do partial fraction decomposition, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, we learned that in Calc 2." And I looked at Dr. White and I go, "They learned that in Calc 2. Can you believe that?" And he just looks at me, and goes, "I don't like to do it, so I didn't teach it."
I didn't like to do
He's like, "I
it.
don't like it." He's like,
I
think
didn't
it's
like it that
stupid."
much, so I just removed it from the curriculum.
He's like,
By
I-
the curriculum, I mean my curriculum.
He's like it's not that hard. You can figure it out yourself. Did you see he got a tattoo?
I did see as a is that new?
Yeah, not last Friday, but the Friday before.
Oh, I'm really not observant. I've noticed it on his arm, and I was like, oh, I guess that's been there.
No, okay.
When I notice something new, my first thought isn't that's changed. My first thought is I haven't noticed that for this long.
See, okay, normally me too. However, I have a meeting with him every week. I had a meeting with him every week last semester, and then every week this semester. So I saw that on Monday, and I was like, that's new. That's gotta be new. I'm not that unobservant. And I asked him, I was like, "Dr. White, is that a tattoo?" And he's like, "Yeah." In like typical Dr. White. He's always like really sheepish about it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "When did you get that?" Like I had a meeting with you last Thursday. And he's like, "I got it on Friday." And I'm like, "Well, I'll do it."
Yeah. Did he say like what it's supposed to be? Like I haven't gotten a good view
I mean,
of it.
it's a neural net tattoo. I mean, that's what he does. So it's like a machine brain looking thing, like a neural network.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's what his entire work
Yeah.
is based off of.
I was just curious. I've like seen it from a distance. I haven't like taken a
Yeah.
good look at it. I'm
It's
not
also-
trying to be like, oh, professor, I just need to.
Yeah, it's
know.
also he also has like really cool shoes.
Yes.
He does-
Yes, I
yeah.
paid attention to his shoes.
Yeah, he has
have
like
pretty
really cool.
sick
You know
kicks.
Anthony, my roommate Anthony.
Yeah.
He's like a sneaker guy, right? And so when I told him that, I was like, "Yeah, and he has like these really cool shoes." And he's like, "Dude, you should get a picture of his feet." And I'm like, "I'm not gonna do that." So those are the missing context. Dr. White's in a wheelchair, and although he's like really chill about it, like if you ask questions, he'll answer them. Like he's really okay about it. I mean, 'cause it's been most of his life. But I'm like, I'm not gonna take a picture of a man's feet who's in a wheelchair because I feel like that's a little
So
insensitive.
that's a little out there.
And Anthony's like, "Nah, that'll be fine." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." I think I told that to Dr. White, and Dr. White thought that was funny. Yeah, he's really cool about it. Kind of like me and the hearing impairment. I know it's not the same thing, but it's
Yeah.
kind of it's kind
No,
of
no,
comparable.
I get what you're getting at with
Yeah.
that though.
Yeah.
Anyway, we totally derailed from anything Gleason related. Not that that's a bad thing. But
That's
I'm just
how
trying
this
to think,
goes.
I'm just trying to think like what other Gleason stuff have we not mentioned yet that happened? Because like I said, we've been gone for a good bit.
Graduation.
I guess we didn't mention last semester's commencement. Were you-
Commencement. I mean, it was. I mean, it went. It was fairly uneventful. I mean, it's the same thing. Everything is. I mean, I will be. I'm gonna. Yeah. Words. I can speak. This graduation is gonna be interesting
This graduation is going to be interesting.
because Jeff's graduating.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not sure how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
Who's graduating? Jeff's graduating.
Mm-hmm.
Colin's graduating.
Mm-hmm.
Alex is graduating.
Mm-hmm.
Kayla is graduating.
Mm-hmm.
And Julia is graduating.
I don't like the thought of how senior staff I'm going to be, but I'm going to be very senior staff.
After that, we're the senior staff.
we are the senior
There's no
staff.
juniors.
Which is so weird.
It
What
goes
happened?
straight from sophomores to seniors.
Yeah. Where are all the junior Gleason employees
I have
at?
no clue.
Maybe Jeff killed them.
They were in the floorboards.
They're in the
Telltale Heart style.
Telltale Heart.
Whenever you walked in,
Whenever you walk in the office, all that's going through Jeff's head is like, they can't hear the heartbeat. They can't hear the heartbeat.
You know those days when he's like a little stressed. That's what it is. He forgets. He forgets his mantras. They can't hear the heartbeat.
He's like, oh my gosh, they're gonna
He's like,
hear
they're
it.
gonna know.
They know they're looking
know.
at me, and they know, and they're just torturing me. That's all that goes through his head. The corpses of the junior year
Gleason staff. That's why we don't have any. They're all gone.
They're all gone.
But yeah, after this
that's gonna be
semester, we will
wild.
be the senior staff.
I'm gonna be the senior staff. Not only do I now, I'm gonna be senior staff.
I'll be more senior than you, though.
I have to relearn the soundboard because we got a new soundboard. I know it's
We did.
probably gonna be similar enough that I'll be able to pick it up quickly, but I still gotta relearn the soundboard. And now I'm gonna have to more learn the light board, which I like, and like every time I use it, I feel like I'm grasping at straws. Like
That's
what I'm supposed to
exactly
do
what it's
next.
like.
Jeff's like, oh,
Jeff, you know what we should get a new thing of next?
light
board and make it user friendly, please. Ours is
Please,
not
I
user
beg.
friendly.
I know it's like gonna be another $20 gazillion to replace any piece of equipment we own, because that's just how this
Look,
business
it's okay.
goes.
It's okay, Jeff. Here's what you're gonna do. I got this. I'm gonna solve this.
Don't sell me.
Take it out of Kayla's paycheck. No, you're already up for sale because you hit Wyatt in the head with.
I did
What
not
happened
hit
to Wyatt?
Okay, first of all, I'm not entirely sure what happened to Wyatt. Second of all, I did not hit him in the head. I wasn't even there. I just made fun of him.
Yes, he did. He hit him in the head. Oh,
Damn.
Mamma mia!
Oh no! Hey,
We're gonna have to talk to Jeff about finding somewhere else to film this.
crazy. I thought the box would do it.
Yep, it's not the box.
Oh well.
We're gonna have to, maybe let us. Maybe we can like evict him from the office for an hour.
Evict him from the off.
Be like,
Where's he
Get
gonna,
outta
Where's he
here.
gonna go? It's just like, Jeff, we need to record. You have to sit in the lobby like a peasant and get nothing done. Nothing.
you can take his computer. We'll talk to him about it.
We'll figure
So
something out.
if next episode it's not in this office, it's not in the Zen room anymore, you'll know we were successful.
Shoot, what was I just talking about?
Jeff murdering Gleason employees.
Oh,
You
the
hitting
light
Wyatt in the
board.
head.
The light board.
Light board, new light board,
So
please.
like,
Like that's user friendly.
I can use the light board to
I
the
can't.
extent of put up the
Slider.
house lights,
That's
bring
what I
down
can
the
do.
house lights. But sometimes it's like,
Ask
oh,
me to
could you-
wire a light.
Oh yeah, patch a light. I've been shown how to patch a light on that light
Probably
board.
about a half dozen times.
Probably, I'd say that's fair. Half a dozen times I've
I
been
don't
shown
know
how
how.
to patch a light on that light board. But if you ask me right now, go patch that light, it would take me probably. I might be able to like finagle my way through the process, but you'd have to give me a solid 15-20 minutes.
You'd have to
do
like
it.
give me 20 minutes to like watch a YouTube tutorial.
Just look up how to do it again. It's just, I don't know, there's so much happening at once when you're looking at the light board screen. Like, it just, I can't. It's so stimulating.
Every
it's
time,
like 8
every
streams of
time
Subway Surfers
Jeff tells me
gameplay.
to take to like go patch a light, I go, I don't know how to do that. And then every time he teaches me, and then every time I forget. Because by the time I need to do it next, it's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I don't remember a lick
To
of
be
it.
fair, that kind of stuff isn't stuff that happens often.
Yeah.
Like, part of the reason I have the soundboard down is because, oh, we need a microphone set up. That happens on a weekly
lot.
basis. That happens almost daily, I would argue. Well, no, but it happens basically every week. And then it's like, oh, we gotta EQ this mic because it's not one that's already been EQ'd. And I to be fair, EQs were like one of the few things I knew going into this job. So it was like I
I
didn't
knew
have
none
to
of it.
learn. I didn't have to learn what an EQ was.
I was simply a jester that wandered into Castle Gleason, and they were like, this man has humor, has wit, has gumption.
I had a mustache.
He has mustache.
But I knew EQs, and I knew a bit of like very basic video and audio editing.
Here's my talents at Gleason.
Okay.
From most knowledge to least knowledge.
Okay.
Cameras, video, sound, lights.
My order would probably be sound, video, lights.
I know a bit more about video than I do about
Sound.
than I do about anything else.
Well, you don't seem audibly inclined anyways, so I don't blame you. But no, I think I know more about sound just because I was already teaching myself a little bit about sound. Mostly, not so much microphones and EQ. Like, EQing a mic was not necessarily something I'd done before, but it was more so affecting like something recorded already and outputting it differently via an EQ. Which, it's the same concept.
Yeah.
It's just like doing it live versus doing it to something pre-recorded.
College players They have a new show coming out.
Yes, they do.
It's called Hearts Like Fists.
Hearts Like Fists. That's what it is.
I'm not entirely sure what it's about.
I know it involves superheroes, and that's it.
I know it involves superheroes and a love triangle.
Oh.
And that's what I know.
I know it involves superheroes and a backdrop of a city that needs to be constructed better. No hate, no malicious in saying that. I know I said that kind of like grimly and looked down like this, but we were trying to string that thing up the other day, right? They had what they did. They made the styrofoam cutout of the cityscape, like horizon, right?
Okay.
It just painted it black and put little LEDs in it, all that kind of stuff. They put 1x at the bottom.
Okay.
For like, that's where you're gonna put your whatever it's called that the line can attach to.
Okay.
And then they put another piece of 1x a bit further up, and what the plan was is you string the 1x, or you string the line over that 1x from the base, and you kind of screw it down with just like a piece of metal to secure it, and then that's gonna support it from the top and the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
What they didn't account for is the fact that the space in between the bottom 1x and the 1x up here is styrofoam. They didn't have it they didn't extend it to the bottom. There was just styrofoam. So this thing is trying to survive off of the structural integrity of probably a quarter to half an inch of styrofoam. So we pull it up, we start pulling it up, and it bows like this, like a sail. And Ed's looking at it, he's like, this is not going up. So we spent the next probably half an hour to an hour getting more pieces of wood and screwing, in from the base into that piece of wood and the upper 1x into that piece of wood. So that way, it had integrity. I think they would do with some more civil engineers on the crew, but we got there in the end. It's fine.
Yeah, I almost, did I tell you that I almost destroyed the auditorium seats the other day?
How?
So we were putting it together truss, right? But it was like 2 7-foot trusses.
Okay.
So we had to put it, the way we had to do it, just simply because there was not enough vertical space, is we had to put one of the we had the platform and the first truss tower. We put that in the area in front of the stage, and then put the bigger truss on top of it from the stage, and then picked it up on the stage. Because there simply was not enough vertical room on stage to set that up, because we kept hitting the lights.
Okay.
So I'm picking it up from, I'm picking it up from, I'm on stage, and I'm lifting it up, and I forgot that it, extended, 10 feet above me, and I swing it, and I don't know why we did this, but we had both set up on the floor at the same time. So I go to turn around and bring it on stage, and I just hear, dong! And the top that I had picked up had collided with the other one standing, and I put it down, and I turn around, and I just see, I'm like, it's me and Issa, and we're just like, oh no! And then Aaron comes up, he runs up like scaries and grabs it before it falls. I was watching in horror. I was like, oh God, Jeff's gonna fire me. Because if that had fallen, it would have crushed. It would have either A, ruined the scaffolding, not scaffolding, the trussing, or B, just broken some of the seats, or both. Probably both.
Probably both. I think it would have screwed up the trussing, and you would have taken out a chair. 482 seats, baby.
Yeah. How do you know that?
How do I
know how many seats there are in Gleason?
Because it's the name of the first episode of the podcast. Not the one we recorded, the one a Josh and Blake of an era before.
A different Blake.
483. But you would have brought it, that's why I said 482, because you would have ruined it.
You know the bubble juice that we use is the same as my initials? BJG. It's the same stuff. That's how I remember it.
It is?
Yeah. Because I say it every time we bring it out. I'm like, oh, it's my initials. Every single time. Yeah.
Neat. I remember we were working on not bubble machines, snow machines.
Yeah, I have to clean them out. That was interesting.
That was interesting, especially when we found out we were spending about, a good half an hour using them wrong, and that's why they weren't working.
Yep. And then Jeff came along and was like, hey, guys. And then fixed it.
I never used a snow machine before.
Me neither.
That's not fair. You can't hate. Wow.
I really hope my mic picked that up. If it did, I'm gonna single that bit out and just crank it.
Don't do that to the people. They don't deserve that.
It's just they're just gonna like, hey. To be fair, in one of the earlier episodes with you and Rena, there's like one part where to censor it, you guys just like picked like a cat girl sound.
That was Rena. Okay. Let me talk about this.
Which,
and I know Rena's
when
gonna
I
see
was
this.
still a viewer, scared the hell out of me.
As an active host, editor, and viewer, it scared the hell out of me. All right, let me get this straight. When we would do the podcast, I would do most of the audio, as in like technical stuff, not edits like Rena would do, where she'd put sound bites in, and not visual stuff like where Rena would put text over. That was all Rena. I would do more technical, like let me set a compressor, let me set a gate at the bottom, or I forget which one. No, the compressor goes on top, gate goes on the bottom. That kind of stuff. Yeah. I let me put some makeup gain or bring it down a bit because it's too loud. Bring up the overall whatever. That was me. So when Rena was like, "Oh, let me find she threatened to do it. I think it's even in that episode. She threatened. She's like, "I'm gonna find like a cat girl noise or whatever it was, the ooh sound."
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
It was a ridiculously loud.
She didn't balance it with the rest of the audio. She probably just like grabbed the clip. I mean, I'm saying this, and I just want Rena to know when she sees this, I'm not upset or disappointed. I think it's funny, but I'm just saying what I think happened because I wasn't there for the creation. I was like, we would work on it usually at different times, right? It's like I would work on it when she was not there. She did most of the editing.
Because I was just watching it and I was like kind of zoned out doing work, and then I was just ripped out of a calculus problem by a scarily loud ooh.
Somebody's pre-programmed everything. You wake up, you go to make your like morning like English muffin or bagel, and you go to your toaster oven, and it's just like morning. I hate you. And you're like.
Like blasted my ears out.
When a new episode drops, me and my roommates watch it together on our TV. So
really?
We're sitting in the living room. This is back in CV when they lived there. We're sitting in the CV living room. Audio's turned up a good bit because I was never great about mastering the videos very loudly. I've gotten better about it now, somewhat, but I would always master them really quietly. So you'd have to put the TV from like 10 to like 60 or 70% volume to hear us like talking at normal volume. And so the TV just blasts us with this whole room. We're like, what the heck?
Do you still watch them with your roommates?
Yeah. I mean, I stopped now, obviously, because hiatus. But
yeah.
No, when an episode would come out, we would still watch them. Usually it's like we do this, we'd upload Friday night, and then we'd watch them like Saturday morning. Or Saturday afternoon.
So when are we gonna schedule these up? Like, are we gonna schedule this for like Wednesdays now? Is Wednesdays gonna be our upload days now?
I don't see why not.
Or do you want to do Fridays? That gives us a week and a half to edit.
It does give us a week and a half to edit, but I don't know if we need a week. I think, okay, I know you were like taking these onto your laptop so you could do a lot of time editing
I actually
them.
didn't do that, and I actually no longer have DaVinci on my laptop because my laptop itself over there a few days ago.
Oh. Well, anyway, my suggestion was just leave it on the office computers who can both work on it.
Yeah.
I think that's going to work better.
Yeah.
But, no, I'd be cool with Wednesday uploads. I think that'd be kind of fun, because it's like during your week, you kind of you reach your halfway point, you get treated with the Gleason podcast.
Are we thinking of doing a new intro for the new semester?
I think that'd be fun. I think a new intro is not unwarranted, especially because
they don't take that long to film.
They don't take that long to film. I was gonna critique the old one, but I actually kind of like the one we threw together. It was a fun idea.
It was a very fun idea.
Through the building, but it's like we would swap who's holding the camera.
You know what we should do? How good are you with like composing music? You should put together.
My roommate's actually half decent at it. Why?
You should like make a score.
Make a score for Gleason?
Not a score, but like you should make it make a Gleason.
Yeah, make our own song for the intro.
And then what we'll do is we'll get everybody and we'll sing that.
Oh, jeez.
Great idea.
That was because I remember we were trying to
We were trying to find
just
the old
basically
one.
recreate the original intro and use the original music, but I couldn't remember the name of the song. I thought it was Sunset Overdrive, but it wasn't. But I couldn't remember the name of Sunset Overdrive, so I just kept going like, I know like Sunset was in the name, and I'm looking for this royalty-free music with the word Sunset in it, which, as you can imagine, is not a small query to sort through. And then we were trying to go through like old files, but we had lost. Well, like all the original
Ed
raw
purged it.
files are gone. I had them all neatly put together in podcast media, so it was one click away from being deleted, which it was. I've no grudge against Ed.
Ed
for doing
swiped
that.
it. He said, "Be gone."
It's like it needed to, but
We should get like all the Gleason workers in it.
no, yeah, it'd be fun. But I remember because we were just I can't find this song, and it's like, well, I don't know what song do we want to use now, and I was like, okay, now I gotta find another song that's gonna fit the intro well, and it's like, well. Just you have microphones. Just make the song again. And I was like,
We thought he was
"Yeah?"
joking.
I thought he was joking.
So
at
like
first.
we're like still looking for it, and so Ed goes, gets a microphone, comes back, plugs it in, and like while we're still looking for it, goes, "Here you go," and we're like, "Oh, you were serious?"
He'd say, yeah.
I think we should make a new one and like have everybody in it.
I think it'd be fun if we could get as much Gleason staff in it as possible. I failed my goal of last semester, amazingly, like spectacularly failed my goal of last semester of getting as many guest hosts as we could.
Are we gonna set a goal?
I'd like to. I want it to be the same goal, just getting as many guest hosts as we can. We
Set
have
it-
this
okay.
third seat I really want filled. Not again. Not again.
Pick it. Okay, we're gonna set a number. Like I understand as many as possible, but like we gotta have an achievable goal.
Okay.
I say we're already like halfway through the semester.
I know. We don't have a whole lot of weeks
I say
left. 5.
Five
We
is an
want
achievable
5
number.
guest hosts. 5 different guest hosts. Guest
Different
hosts
Maui.
on the podcast.
Have you ever seen The Princess Bride?
Oh yeah, of course I've seen the Princess
Maui.
Bride. But 5 by the
5.
end of the semester. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
I last semester I was just like I want as many as we can, and we got 1.
And it was Dakota.
It was Dakota, and
And you did a Ouija board.
we did a Ouija board.
That's why we're not in the studio anymore.
And for most of the episode, they weren't actually on camera because we were doing a Ouija board.
We'll pick 5. You know what we're
5.
gonna do? You know what we're gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
After this, I'm gonna grab my phone. I'm gonna
Mhm.
type in Teams, and I'm gonna send 2 messages.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go in the office. I'm gonna make a Google form, and then I'm gonna send 2 messages. Who wants to be in the intro?
Mm-hmm.
And who wants to be a guest host?
I think that's a good idea. We definitely got to take more initiative. It was totally on us for not like
We're
reaching
gonna get
out
a calendar
more.
together.
Like people would ask us. I'd get asked like, "Oh, could I?" I remember we tried to get Jabari on, but that didn't happen. And then Justin wanted to be on, but never followed through with that. So it's just
We're gonna
a
put
matter
initiative
of,
forward.
we're gonna take much more initiative this semester. And we're gonna get you guys on here. By you, I mean specifically staff members.
The only
that are watching
the only
this.
issue is that we got 2 of these.
Oh no, I think we're gonna have the guest mic, which is gonna be wired right to the camera. I think
Yeah.
that'll be funny.
We have our own, and then they're just like.
Yeah, we have the lav mics. We're just chilling,
We're just
and then we
chilling.
have the guest microphone. We could label it as such. We'll get the label maker. We'll get the biggest font we can. It'll just say guest microphone. It'll
I
be
think
like
that's a good
the
plan.
it'll be like the player 2 controller, where it's just like infinitely worse.
When you give your.
It's like, yeah, you give
when
like
you give
your
sibling
friend
the controller.
you give your friend the
you leave it
Power A
unplugged.
controller for your Xbox 360. It was like $10 used at GameStop.
Yeah.
It's like that's what we're gonna do for our guests with the microphone.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. So
That's a good plan. I do
And
think we're coming up on an hour here.
we are exactly at an hour.
We're exactly at an hour.
1 hour.
So yeah, we're back. Sorry for the hiatus.
Our bad.
It's been a long semester. It's only halfway through.
I don't know. I'm chill. I have no excuse.
I'm not.
Just hate. Don't hate on him. Honestly, comment down below how much you hate me for how lazy I
Yeah.
am. Do that.
Yeah.
Do that. Let me know down below.
How much you absolutely
how much do you
despise this
loathe
waste of
me?
space, human being. This sad excuse for a use of flesh.
And
Does nothing
oxygen.
but hog air.
Look at this. That did nothing.
That did nothing. But
Absolutely
yeah,
nothing.
real quick,
Real quick,
just don't mind me.
I'm not minding you at all. I'm minding me. Cool guy.
Like the video, or we'll see just how much air this thing can hold.
You can share it too.